All right, welcome everybody. Keep filing into the room. Take the first seat available. It's not like, the Southwest Airlines where no one wants to sit in the middle. I can see people are still wandering in. So we're going to go ahead and get started. First of all, let me make sure that all of you can hear the sound of my voice. If you can't hear the sound of my voice, raise your hand. Actually, that would seem backwards because they wouldn't know to raise their hand if they couldn't hear the sound of my voice. So that's a test. Can anybody, Danny, can you hear me? Julia, Lydia, anybody? Oh, good. Julia admits she can hear me. The rest of them are too shy. You know how real estate agents are, right? They're shy and don't want to raise their hand. All right, well, welcome everybody. I want to introduce Margaret Faraday of Fidelity Home Warranty. And the reason that of all the things that real estate agents need to know, of all the things that real estate agents need to learn about, one of them that is, I think, very important is the home warranty. And many of you just know that it's a box to check in the residential purchase agreement. Maybe the seller will pay for it, maybe they'll waive it, maybe you'll get it. But you need to understand why home warranties are there. And it's not just that it's a good idea, but many errors and omissions insurance companies will reduce the deductible that you would have to pay if there was a lawsuit, if there was a home warranty. And by the way, I share this with sellers when I'm talking to them about why they might want to have a home warranty and why they may want to pay for a home warranty and why it might be a good home warranty. Because I'll explain to the seller that I have insurance, errors and omissions insurance, and they're going to cut my deductible if there's a home warranty. And then I'll ask the seller, why do you think the insurance company would lower my deductible if there's a home warranty? And usually they figure out because there's less chance of me being sued, right? So the errors and omissions insurance does not cover the seller. Does the seller want to go to small claims court after the transaction to fight about the condition of the property? I've got one comment that the sound has an echo and is very choppy. Is anyone else experiencing that? Or can we just blame, all right, so we're just going to blame Dimitri's technology, right? Because I'm getting no's from other people. Dimitri, you could call in, sorry about the dig on you. Dimitri has good technology, I'm sure. But so anyhow, that's all. So it's very important that you understand this. It's more than just a box to check. And Margaret has volunteered under great pressure to come and explain home warranties to you and how they work and why they're important. So I'm going to let Margaret take it from here.
Well, hello everyone, and thanks for having me. So I'm your Fidelity National Home Warranty rep, and I'm also your disclosure source rep for NHD, and I'll hit that at the very end. So basically, in a nutshell, I kind of want to explain to you, I'm kind of your partner. It's very, very important when you, especially if you're representing a buyer, that you make sure that you check all your boxes when you're doing your inspection, because you want to make sure you know what's in that house, whether it's got AC, heat, if it's got extra refrigeration, if it's got a water softener, pool, spa, all of it. Most people always just write in on the purchase contract up to $600, and you're not doing your fiduciary responsibility representing the buyer, making sure that they're totally covered on the home warranty. Because if the seller's paying for it, even if the buyer's paying for it, you really want them covered in that first year. You want them to feel comfortable that if something breaks, they're going to be covered. Another thing, what you want to understand is when you're dealing, and this is all home warranties, not just Fidelity, when you're dealing with home warranty companies, we are an insurance company. So we contract third-party companies. So what you want to do is you never want to say they're going to take care of all of it. There's always cost to the homeowner and there's cost to us. So there'll be certain charges basically like maybe permits and modifications when we have to install a hot water heater or something like that. So always remember, you tell your client, I've got you a home warranty, you get something, but you don't get everything. You don't want to give them a high expectation that we're going to go and replace their $10,000 refrigerator because you know it's going out. The technicians will also always know if a product like an appliance was already not working. They're very good at detecting that. So if you close on a house and you know the refrigerator is broken, you might as well just be honest about it and deal with that in the contract and try to get some money from the seller, because the techs will know if it was broken prior. So I just want to kind of, those are the small things, because you really want to keep things buttoned up, because when I'm representing your client for that following year after you've sold the property, I need to make sure they're happy so that you can go back out and sell that property. So I hope you guys, am I going too fast, or you're kind of understanding that?
You're doing just fine. This is
Okay.
a sophisticated group, very
Okay.
good looking, and I'm sure they're keeping up with you.
Okay, good. There's 3 ways of ordering, and I apologize for our phone systems right now and our ordering, because we have a brand new phone system. There's 3 ways to order. You can order through me on email. You can order on the 800 number, or you can go to homewarranty.com and set yourself up with an account. And that way you have marketing materials to do newsletters, all types of marketing materials that you can put your name on and your picture. So anybody that's new, we have a whole marketing section on our website for you. And that, it really works. A lot of my old timers still do it, and they're religious about the newsletters that they put out. So that's a really good thing that we offer. In about 2 weeks, we're going to be launching new pricing and new brochures. And Mike will get those out to you guys. And so we're going to go up about $15. And you really want to pay, like I said, you want to pay attention to what's in the home in order to order. And you're always welcome to call me. And if you're confused about anything on the order form, or what goes with what, or what kind of plan. And I'm always going to be here for you guys. Another thing is we offer CRES. I don't know how EXP works, if the broker offers CRES or not. There's 2 ways of ordering through CRES. You either have them cover your E&O insurance on each transaction, or if your broker doesn't use it for E&O and you have your broker using the E&O insurance under a different E&O, you can still use CRES for that extra month coverage. So basically, if a seller gives you, let's say a seller says they're going to give you $800 and you really only need $545. Well, you might as well use the CRES and get that extra month, the 13 months, because it's a little bit more money. So you can decide whether you want to use CRES or you want to use the regular home warranty brochure. And again, at a later date, I can explain it to you one-on-one if you guys want to call me or email me. All right. So there's certain things that we do. I'm going to tell you who we kind of compete with. We compete with Old Republic and First American. We're all 3 basically the same. We use the same vendors. Okay, we all cost about the same. The difference is going to be your rep. It's going to be me picking up that phone every day to help you solve your issues. Most of the time that I get called in is when your client calls in for a claim and something goes sideways. And I want you to contact me when it goes sideways in the beginning of the issue, rather than 2 months later and everybody's upset. It's just much easier to bring me in to try to rectify it, because not everybody's perfect. Some techs aren't good, some are. Some people don't get a good feeling with it. We can send a second opinion out, and I can do that rapidly. So I just want you to know that I can always be there for your client, but your client does have to call the 800 number or go through the website to place that first initial claim. All claims cost $75, and that's across the board for all companies. Pretty much everybody charges $75, and we haven't raised it for quite a long time. So we also have in here in our contract that since we've had COVID-19, it's been just a horrible year getting parts. So there's been huge delays, and I want you to explain that to when you guys close on a property during this whole COVID time. Let them know you might experience some delays with parts and things like that they're coming from China and different areas, and it's just beyond our control. So I do want you guys to understand that part. We offer I'll start with, we do rekey just like everybody else does. We have rekeying. I always want you to make sure when you guys close on a house, make sure you have the original keys. Every company will not rekey unless they have those keys. All right? So make sure, and they can get a rekey before we get a check from escrow. When escrow sends us a check for payment, it takes 8 to 10 days. All they have to tell them is who the escrow officer is, what the escrow number is. We contact them. We make sure we dispatch a locksmith. All right, so they can do that before we get payment, and we'll make sure of it. We also do new construction. It's not like we have a lot of new construction in our area, but when you do, we have new construction. When they purchase this, their first year is with the company like Shea Homes or whoever it is. The 2 to 5 years, we cover it, and this is a great price point also, and that'll be in your brochure as well. Let's see, where am I at? When you guys order, if the home is under 5,000 square feet, that's the pricing in the brochure. If the home is over 5,000 square feet, you must call me because it's a different pricing. And I couldn't give you a pricing unless we knew how many washer dryers, how many refrigerators, because then we get into multiple appliances. So that you have to call into the company. We also cover like for like. So if someone has a refrigerator that is 30 years old and it finally goes out and it's a Kenmore, we're going to give them a Kenmore or something that's the same similar model. So they're not going to be able to upgrade to, a $2,500 one when they know it's only worth about $800. So I want you to understand it's going to be like for like anytime we replace any kind of item. And we also deal with high ticket items, very expensive items. We do like for like with that as well. And we also have upgrades for when you guys sell multi-million-dollar homes that are over 5,000 square foot, and they've got the Viking and they've got all the very high-end appliances. We have extra coverage for that, so we can pay out an aggregate of $10,000 for those high-end appliances. And $10,000 is better than not having a home warranty at all, right? So you want to always tell the client you get something, because I'd rather give somebody, $800 to $1,200 than having zero when they don't want to have a home warranty. All items when you guys close on the home must be in good working order. Like I said, they will know, the tech, when they go out there, if something's taped in the back of that refrigerator to keep it going. So you really want to make sure the seller has that house in good working order. And that's your fiduciary responsibility as well. Now I talked about the buying side. On the selling side, when you guys go for a listing appointment, this is a really good tool to have. I have little brochures, they're about this size. And you can ask me for them. And sorry, hold on one sec. I just had surgery, so I'm on all this medication. It drives me out. When I have seller's coverage flyers that can go into your listing presentations, and when you guys go for a listing, you can tell them, hey, I'm going to cover you during the listing. So when you take the listing, you go, look, I can cover you, and they don't have to know it's $1.25 a day. You pay $1.25 a day during the listing process while it's for sale. So let's say the house is for sale for 92 days. You're charged $92, or 92 times $1.25. But you got the listing by telling them, hey, I'm going to cover you with insurance. It's going to cover all the main parts of the house except the appliances. It's going to cover the heating, the water heater, the AC, the plumbing, the big stuff. So let's say you have an open house, or we don't have any open houses anymore, but you have somebody coming through the home and all of a sudden the hot water heater breaks. You call us, you have seller's coverage, we come out and we fix it. So it's a caveat for you to get the listing, for us to have the contract. So when the buyer comes in and they want to use ABC home warranty, you say we already have one. and we move in and we cover it on the buyer's end. And then that's when the appliances get covered. But we do not cover the appliances. So it's a really nice tool to have when you go for your listing appointment to say, hey, if you use me, I'm gonna do this for you. And it's $1.25 a day. And today, you know, houses aren't on the market for more than a week or maybe 2. So I always suggest doing it on homes that are, you know, they've been lived in for a few years, you know, more than 10 years. And that's a really good thing to have. So, like I said, I don't ever want you to oversell the home warranty saying they're going to fix everything, because it's never that case. Some are smooth, some aren't. And when they're not smooth, that's when I want you to call me in. Okay, gang? Some of the marketing materials, I gave you guys a flyer. It's called Knock Knock. I need a good week's notice. I get these door knockers. And I know with COVID, there's a lot of restrictions going on right now. You can put your business card on here. Anybody who's new, these are excellent. They're free. I'm happy to give them to you. They come in packs of 100. I think we have a choice of like 6 or something of these. A great tool if you don't want to spend any money and you just want to go door knock. And you can leave them at somebody's door without, you know, getting 6 feet from them. But I want you to find out what your rules are with the MLS and all that. But I have them. I can only order them the first 2 weeks of every month. And you know, give me some notice and I can get those out to you guys if you care to have those. All right. And let's see what else. When I give you an example on something. When we go out, let's say there's a leak in a wall. And somebody's like, we have a leak, you need to come out and fix it. We come out, we fix the leak in the wall, but we will not paint that wall. We'll put the wall back together very rough, but we've had past experiences, all insurance companies do, that you never match the correct paint. So all the companies do it, we just leave it rough when they patch it up. So just so you know, we go through this all the time with people. Home warranties also are much different than your homeowner's insurance. A home warranty, we cover the inside of the 4 walls of the home. The homeowner's insurance covers fire, flood, all that type of stuff. We cover appliances, heating, plumbing, anything inside. We don't cover sprinklers outside in your yard. So I get several calls for stuff like that. So always think inside the 4 walls of the home, and that's what we cover. Okay. Let's see. When you have a contract and they want to cancel it, you're not able to cancel it in the first year. You have to write it out for that year. So you want to make sure that your buyer really wants that home warranty, and I do suggest them having a home warranty. We also offer cash in lieu, and we can do that at the very beginning. Let's say it's a built-in refrigerator and the guy's saying it's going to be too hard to fix. We will cash you out. We will cash you out on the wholesale price that we get for that built-in refrigerator. So if the built-in refrigerator costs $1,800 and we get it for $1,200, we will be giving you the $1,200 because that's our price for it. And that's the type of things that when you do close, if you want your homeowner to call me, I will explain how to use the home warranty. I also suggest when you close, you put the contract number on a real brochure, and when you give them the closing stuff, the packet, I want you to put the actual brochure in there and tell them, put this in your kitchen drawer. I know we live in a day of electronics and everybody wants it on their desktop. They forget they have it, but when they see it, they use it, and I want them to use it. So it's an extra little thing that you go, hey, you know, don't forget, you've got this home warranty, you can use it in your first year, throw it in your kitchen drawer. And they know you have their back, because again, I've got to take care of your client from here on out after you close so that you guys can go out and sell that house. Do you guys have any questions?
Yes,
So
they
far.
do. Yes, they do.
Okay.
One of them is, what is the difference between a CRESS and regular home warranty?
CRESS is, okay, yeah, CRESS is for basically smaller offices, not for like the Interos or the big offices, because what Crest does is it gives you that E&O insurance, what Michael was talking about earlier. So you're covered in case anybody wants to sue you. So that's for you to discuss with your brokerage. And I don't know if you already pay an E&O insurance to the brokerage. If you don't, and you guys are all individual, that's something you want to take a look at, as always using the Crest, because it's going to be your insurance coverage as well for E&O. So there's two ways of using Crest. If you're at a big office like a Coldwell Banker, they use it just to get that extra month and that extra money they want to spend when the seller's giving them the extra money. A lot of buyer's agents will go, Margaret, can you squeeze any more money out of them? You know, that kind of thing. Well, we could use the Crest one, get you that 13 months rather than 12 months. But really what Crest is for individuals, independent agents that aren't being, maybe a good example might be a Remax or something, where you pay a desk fee and you need to have E&O insurance, and we offer that E&O insurance. Old Republic does, First American does, all the companies offer the Crest. We all do. I hope that answered it.
Well, they're going to have to be, that's it.
Okay.
What specific coverage is needed to cover high-end appliances?
There's an extra, it's like $85 if you look in the back of the brochure. It's an upgrade appliance. It's an upgrade appliance, and I think it's an additional, and it gives you an additional $5,000. Hold on one second. Ryan, can you open the door? Ryan, can you open the door? I'm in a webinar. Sorry, buddy. Thank you. I'm in a webinar. You can just set it right there, and I'll take care of you next week. Do you want to grab a bottle of that, the top bottle? I'm just right in the middle of the presentation. The left, the Murphy Good. Yeah, take that. Okay.
Have a good one.
Okay, honey. Sorry about that, guys. So where were we?
We're talking about high-end appliances, I think.
Yeah, so high-end appliances, there will be an appliance upgrade in the back of the catalog. So anybody who sells any of the high-end appliances when you're selling a home, I would recommend checking and adding that $85, because that gives them that extra $5,000 aggregate. So instead of us paying out $5,000, we pay $10,000. Okay, and these are on those really high-end Thermadors. You know what I'm talking about. So I would really pay attention to that on those high-end homes. And like I said, if you've got a home that you know someone's going to fix up, and get the basic plan. But I always suggest, please pay attention to what's in that house. AC, I can't tell you, 99% of my agents don't pay attention. And they say, Margaret, just get me something up to 500. And I go back and I say, what's in the house? And they're like, well, it's got AC, it's got this. I said, well, that's 520. So you guys are going to have to make up the 20 bucks somewhere. And we can't negotiate because we're an insurance company, so we're held accountable by the insurance commission. So there's no negotiation on me taking $20 off of a deal or anything like that. All right, just so you know in the future. Our price is going up to $545 for the enhanced. That's the one that everybody gets. It's got the AC, washer, dryer, refrigerator bundle. So that's the one, that's kind of the normal one that everybody buys. That just kind of like the safe zone. And then I don't know if Michael can put up the brochure, the home warranty.
I did put up the new brochure.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Chat links to them so they can download.
Okay. And like I said, it's all new. I would recommend especially paying attention to the back part of it. We have casita coverage. So be careful now that everybody's got these ADUs that they're building. Make sure you know what's in that ADU. Make sure if it has AC, you want the coverage. If it only has a hot plate and a heating, then you're just going to get the basic casita coverage. But we do offer that as well, and we offer it by square footage. So you'll have two choices on the casitas. So again, I just, when you guys write those offers, I just don't want you to be very basic about saying up to 600. I really want you to know what's in that home so that you can protect your client. And I can't tell you how many times people call me after 30 days, because you have up to 30 days to change it. without any, you know, because it's a contract. Don't forget, it's insurance. It's like buying a car. It's like buying a house. We are an insurance company. So I can't tell you how many times people call me after 30 days going, Margaret, we didn't know they had a water softener because they had all the stuff in there, right? So ask those kinds of questions. Hey, you know, I know you guys have all your stuff in the garage because you're getting ready to move. Is there a water softener in there? Because 9 times out of 10, somebody's got one and I can't add it because it's been past the 30 days. So I really want you to, I can't stress it enough to ask those questions. Now, I want to also say, if you guys have somebody that you know that you're not doing a transaction with through escrow, and it happens to be a cousin, a friend, a brother, a sister, and you want to get them a home warranty, we have a direct to consumer. Direct to consumer is always a 30-day wait, because most of the time people call when something breaks and they want to call within a week. So you want to make sure when you're calling in for a direct to consumer that you know, you tell your friend or whoever it is that it's a 30-day wait. And you didn't hear this from me, but I would wait 40 days if something's not working, or 45, because they will know on the 31st day if something, you know, like, okay, they waited. Insurance companies are very smart about that.
Well, there's still questions about CRESS.
Okay.
Is it for that particular property? Does it cover the agent for all transactions? This is in reference to the E&O during the 13-month period.
It's per transaction, per house. So that E&O insurance will only cover you for that transaction. So it's like, it covers you just for that. So like when I get to Disclosure Source and tell you that we offer $60 million in E&O insurance, we offer it only on that house as well. So each transaction, that's what it covers. And on a later date, Mike, what I could do is have our Vice President of CRESS sometime. He can come and do a 30-minute presentation. He's excellent, and really get down and dirty and tell you guys what CRESS is all about.
All right.
Okay.
Great. That sounds wonderful. Let's see. What would you recommend as the maximum cost to put into a purchase agreement for a home warranty?
If it's a house that's just a regular house that you're selling with no pool or anything like that, I recommend saying up to 600. But again, I can't stress to you, the 600 is going to keep you in the clear for sure, because at least you can get the enhanced at 545. But if you don't know that there's a casita back there, that's when it starts to build, and you're up to $800 or whatever. So you want to make sure that you know what's in that home, and on the outside of the house too, if there's a pool or spa.
Okay. So there's not a, let me interject something if that's okay.
Okay.
It's all right for me to, no. I'm gonna. So I just have a couple of home warranty related comments. One of them is about seller's coverage. And so whether or not the listing agent pays for seller's coverage or the seller pays for seller's coverage, you ought to talk to a seller when you list a house about seller's coverage. And on a listing appointment or that sort of material that you might email to them, you might want to send them a brochure. Let me explain why. Right now, in a different life, I managed a really large Century 21 group. We had 600 agents. And when anything went wrong, I got to, talk to the people. That was, my role. That's because the owner didn't, why would you want to? So this is a scenario, right? The seller lists their home with the agent. The agent doesn't say anything about what a home warranty is at that point. Why bother? No talk about seller's coverage. Something breaks during the listing period. And then the seller says, oh my gosh, the dishwasher just broke. My time's up.
Nora, I'm in a meeting.
Yeah,
Nora, I'm in a meeting. Can I call you back? Okay.
The heater went out, something went wrong. And so the listing agent says to the seller, well, gee, that's too bad. You're going to need to fix that before we sell the property to anybody else, because you can't sell the property with a broken dishwasher or whatever it is. So what then happens is the seller's at work, and the seller's talking to some other friends at work, and the friend says, so how's it going? You know, the sale of your house. And the seller says, oh, you know, a terrible thing just happened. You know, the refrigerator went out and now I have to go get a new refrigerator and all of that. And the friend from work says, well, wait a second, why don't you just use the home warranty to cover it? Why don't you just do that? And the seller says, really? You mean there's a home warranty? And he's, oh yes, for just a nominal fee, you could submit a claim because it just broke. And so then the seller calls the listing agent up and says, hey, why can't I use the home warranty in order to fix the broken refrigerator? And the listing agent says, well, because, you know, you don't have one. And then the seller is going to say this, I've heard this many times, if you had told me that that was an option, I would have picked it, right? If you had just told me. And so guess who ends up buying a new refrigerator for the seller? The listing agent does. Now, I've had cases where I explained this to the seller and the seller said, no, I don't want one. I would make them initial something that said, no, I don't want one, and then something broke. And by the way, you don't want to say, I told you so, right? There's no need to rub it in. But you understand that's a very different conversation if you present it and explain it and they say no thanks, right? Then you don't mention it and something breaks and now they're unhappy with you. And if you want to throw that in as part of your package because, you know, it's a good thing to do, maybe as part of your listing, that's entirely up to you. And the other thing is that if you're buying a home warranty for a buyer, do not buy the cheapest plan that's available. Buy the best plan that you can, right? The difference isn't that much, but the worst thing that can happen is something breaks, they contact the home warranty company, and then the home warranty company says, no, you're not covered. You know, your agent bought the cheap plan. You know, the cheap plan doesn't cover these things. Right, and what you've done is you've taken a situation where your home warranty could be the hero, right? And now you're the, you know, you're the goat. The other things, so are appliances covered as part of the seller's warranty?
No, that's why you want to let them know it's the main guts of the house, the plumbing, the heating, the AC, and the water heater.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, so that's why when you go to that listing appointment, you say when the buyer takes possession is when the appliances are covered.
Right.
Not while the listing. It's really to help you go, the toilet's just clogged up, Margaret. Oh my God, we'll get somebody out there because we got to show the house, right? So
my experience involved heaters oftentimes, which
yes.
That was a good point. I just was rambling there, but Paul pointed that out. There's a question about, does a listing agent need to inspect appliances in the AVID? The answer is no, you don't inspect appliances. That's something for the property inspector. So let's say, Margaret, I'm closing on a transaction and I bought a Fidelity National Home Warranty, the platinum, you know, gold encrusted policy. Is there any marketing that is done by Fidelity Home Warranty to the consumer that includes my name?
Your name, yes. Well, I've got these little certificates that you can actually give at closing saying it's on behalf of you. It's kind of nominal, really. And then your name is on the invoice, obviously, but it's up to you guys to say, I purchased this for you. I gave this to you. And I'm glad you said we have a really good plan. I don't try to oversell it, but if you have a house that's about 25 years old, I always say get the Enhanced Plus plan, because on page 9, I don't know in the new catalog, but the old brochure on page 9, Enhanced Plus, we pay for the modifications and permits. And what that means is if you have any other plan, no other company does what we do. Any other plan, when you replace a HVAC, like a heating or an AC or a hot water heater, there's permits and modifications that the homeowner must pay. We pay for the unit and we pay for the installation of the unit. So what our president did was she did this enhanced plus plan, okay? And what we do is we actually pay for the modifications and the permits. So I always kind of tell people, hey, if the house is only 2 or 3 years old, don't get it. But if the house is, over 10 to 12 years old, you might want to think about it, because that saves the homeowner about $1,200. Anywhere, the hot water heater could cost them $500, the HVAC could cost them $1,200 in permits and modifications, because we're paying $2,800 on our end. And 9 times out of 10, when we don't explain this to the homeowner, they're flipping out at everybody. So that enhanced plus plan, if you're getting money from the seller, just check that box and get it. And that will help your client not have to pay for those permits and modifications. Okay. Again, anytime after this webinar, you guys are welcome to call me, email me, and I will spend time explaining it to you. I forgot another one thing. Please tell your clients, never have Uncle Buck come over and try to fiddle with something. And I say that in quotes. Never, ever have your brother's husband's best friend come over and try to fix something before you call in a claim, because the tech will know that somebody tampered with it and they will deny it immediately. So you never want to touch it. If you feel that something's not working, the heating's not working, you call the claims department. You don't have your father or your brother come out and try to fiddle with it, and they will deny it. So I really stress that to people.
I'm putting in your contact information. Can an existing homeowner, if they have a valid credit card, buy a home warranty?
Absolutely. Anybody can buy one. That's called direct to consumer. They have a 30-day wait.
And there's a question about, I'm representing a buyer that would like to add an in-ground pool within the first year. Is that possible?
It has to be within the first 30 days. Not the first. Yeah, you have to have it in the beginning, because they're going to wonder why they added it later when they knew they had the pool.
All right, so I'm not sure from the question if we're talking about they're adding the pool and then wanting it covered, or they want to add the pool that already is there to the coverage. Not sure.
So if it's a new pool, they're going to be covered with the manufacturer that put the pool in, right? And then when it's time for the renewal, they would have to discuss that with the renewal department on adding that.
Okay.
Okay.
So again, just to be clear, can appliances be included during the listing period for an extra cost?
Never. And that's one thing you need to know. No appliances, only the guts of the home, the big stuff.
Right. Which of course is the important one. The instance I was talking about involved a heater that went out. And,
yes.
That would have been covered.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Any other questions, guys? This is your chance.
And then I can talk a little bit about Disclosure Source and tell you the difference with those guys.
All right. And I'm not seeing any other questions about this, but go ahead if you want.
Okay, so there's Property ID, there's JCP. JCP is like the Kleenex brand. JCP is owned by First American. Property ID is its own company. And then we have Disclosure Source. Disclosure Source is owned by Fidelity National Home Warranty. It is your NHD. We also offer this. We charge less than everybody else. It's $99. And we offer the highest E&O insurance. We offer $60 million. We cover the broker, we cover your TC, we cover your escrow officer, and we cover you. So if something goes sideways, 1 out of 100 agents are sued over NHD. If you ever were to get sued, in your entire party that did the transaction is covered by Disclosure Source, which is remarkable. The other companies do not cover any, they just cover you. And like Property ID has 20 million. It's 4 different companies that they go to. And First American has 100,000 and they cover themselves. So for the most part, most disclosure companies, we all give you the right disclosures, but the difference is that E&O. So it's something to take a look at. I respect all the other companies. You know, it's just something else that we add to the pile. So that's basically the difference is the $60 million E&O insurance, and it covers everybody in that party. All right. And they all know what NHD is?
NHD, well, somebody typed in negligence ? NHD stands for natural hazard disclosure, and it's a one-time fee, not a, it's a $99 per transaction, not annual, because it's a report that shows.
It's a report, and it goes for 6 months. It's good for 6 months. So let's say you take a house off the market and it's been on the market for 2 months. It's still good for that 6 months when you put it back on the market. So you don't have to repay $99 when you pull it off. Let's say it had something wrong with the house and they're fixing it and you put it back on, it's still going to be viable. All right. And like I said, I'm here for you guys all the time. I have to separate myself because Old Republic, First American, and Fidelity, we use the same vendors. We have basically the same contracts, and I have to separate myself. So that's why I pick up the phone and I really do go to bat for your client. I'll do whatever I can to help them.
And particularly now you're here to help because you can't go anywhere because you hurt your
And if anybody wants these door knockers, I think they have to come to my house to pick them up. Somebody from Frank Consilla's office came over the other day and I just handed them the bag.
Yeah. So for those of you, the door knockers, what there are, these are things that you can put around the door handle, right? One of them is about the home warranty, and you also have one about a free market analysis.
Yeah, and you've got one for virtual open houses now too.
Virtual open houses, right? You better hurry before there's real ones to put them out. And so how much does the agent have to pay you in order to get a stack of them?
These are completely free to you. So we have a lot of free marketing materials on our website also, homewarranty.com. When you sign up, you're going to have a whole marketing page that you build your profile on. And then you can call me for these and you just go, Margaret, I want 200 of this, 200 of that, 200 of that. And I put the order in, get it, and then you are off and running. And like I said, I can order them at the first 2 weeks of the month. Most people do the open houses, but we don't do them. So now we have a virtual open house, and we have a brand new one called Thinking of Buying. And do you know your property's value is one of the most popular ones. And like I said, right now I'm laid up because I had foot surgery, but anybody who wants to come and pick them up, I'm happy to give them to you.
All right, great.
You just put your business card in there.
Yeah, so that's the idea. When the appliances don't get covered, I don't know what that really means. So in the normal or the upgraded policy, appliances are covered. They're just not covered during the seller's coverage.
That's right. And you have to actually pick the coverage because on the buyer side, when people go, this is what gets people in trouble. I have a plan called the Comp Plus plan. And right now it's $430. I think it's going to $445. And it just covers AC, no appliances. And so people check it. And then they don't realize none of the appliances are covered, the washer, dryer, refrigerator. And that's what gets us in trouble. They don't pay attention. So I go to the enhanced plan for the $545 because that bundles everything. And you've got your washer, dryer, refrigerator, AC, everything covered. So when people hit the Comp Plus, they think the washer, dryer, refrigerator is covered, and it's not. So that, and I say that to, oh, and don't have your escrow officer order it. I want you to either email me if, say, Margaret, contact the escrow officer. If you're that busy and you can't give me the buyer's name and the escrow officer's name and the escrow number, just give me the escrow officer. I will contact them and they'll give me the order sheet and I'll plug it in.
So somebody's asking, where are you physically located? What city?
I'm physically located out of my car. And so, but I live in Los Gatos.
Okay.
So I work out of the house.
All right. And then somebody's asking what they need to do to get the door knockers. The first thing is send me $5. I'll give you my Stripe link, and then, or maybe you could just email or call Margaret and ask for them. Is that another option?
Have them email me. I'll give them my address.
I've included, I believe, enough of your contact information. Let me make sure your email went through.
Because normally I would be driving out and dropping stuff off, but of course my foot surgery is on my driving foot.
And there's also this virus still.
That's true. My boss didn't believe me that the offices are still closed. She goes, I don't believe you, because she's up in Sacramento. They're all open.
Yeah, well, they may be soon now, but I don't know when it's going to be a thing where everybody crams into the office again.
Yeah. I just pray everybody's safe. I finally get my vaccine tomorrow. I'm happy.
Oh, good. Yeah, I got mine.
Yeah.
All right, but we don't want to rub it in, because all these people that
But I'm absolutely here for you guys. I'm really excited to start this venture with you, and I'm excited for Michael's, your group of people, and I hope I get to meet you guys in person. And again, if you want to learn more about Crest, Michael, I will put you together with our vice president. He's excellent at presenting.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Well, is that all we've got? Thanks, Michael and Margaret. We're getting that. That's so. Anyhow, everybody stay safe. Tomorrow we're doing a class on how the loan process works from beginning to end. Don't miss it. Next week there's going to be a special session about converting internet leads, the real secret to how to do that. That'll be next Wednesday. Don't miss that either. All of you that are registered for this ought to get something about that anyhow. So stay safe out there, everybody. And that's it. Have a great day.
And thanks for the opportunity. See you later.
Bye.